I was 32 when I was first diagnosed with kidney disease. 32. It had been a year since my divorce, and my twins, Danny and Micah, were in 6th grade. They were doing pretty well in school, in sports. And I was doing great at my new job at the Seattle City Planning Department. After all the turmoil with the divorce and moving to Burien and starting a new job, I finally felt like I could breathe a little, start my life again. And then this. 95% of my kidney function gone. The doctor said it was high blood pressure and genetics, but all I know is that kidney disease just turned my whole life upside down. Now I had to find a way to get to a dialysis center 3 times a week. It's a half hour there and a half hour back, and then 3 hours of sitting there while they filter these toxins out of my body. You think you can find 12 hours a week to carve out of your schedule?
Sure, Maggie was angry. Wouldn't you be? But it didn't take her long to accept that dialysis wasn't her enemy. It was her savior. I've been a home dialysis nurse at Northwest Kidney Centers for nearly 20 years. Most of my colleagues have been there for years and years too. We love our jobs, and we love Northwest Kidney Centers. Because they're a nonprofit organization, they put their patients first, not profits. This is a place that truly cares about people. It gives those of us working there the chance to really get to know and care about our patients and their families. A lot of our patients adapt very well to going to one of our 15 dialysis centers around the Puget Sound area 3 times every week. But others, like Maggie, with her downtown Seattle job, Burien commute, and 2 active boys, well, they want to learn how to set up and maintain their dialysis at home. They can schedule their treatments on their own time. And they can dialyze more often. The more you dialyze, the better you feel. And I'm there to help them determine whether home dialysis is right for them. I'm an RN, and so are all the home dialysis nurses at Northwest Kidney Centers. We provide intensive one-on-one training with each of our patients to make sure they're comfortable with the dialysis machines at home and disciplined enough to take control of their own care. Then we visit them when they need us, and they can talk to a nurse 24 hours a day. Maggie and hundreds of others like her on home dialysis are doing great. It takes some getting used to, but once they learn how to dialyze from me at home, it's a different experience. It's healthier for them. It's less time consuming. It's
freedom.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's freedom. I began dialysis in 1989. I was still working at Boeing, but I managed to squeeze in my trips to the dialysis center every week. Pretty soon, things took a turn for the worse. I had to take an early retirement. When my wife Connie retired last year, I wanted the flexibility to do things with her anytime we wanted. Sarah was my home dialysis nurse too. I gave her a pretty hard time at first. I wanted to know everything about the equipment and how it all worked. That's the engineer in me, I guess. I guess Sarah would say I was a pretty ornery patient. But she was a lifesaver for me. All the staff I've met at Northwest Kidney Center, not only knowledgeable, they're compassionate. They're very patient. Home dialysis, It's give me the freedom to live my life exactly how I want to live it.
Henri, you don't know the half of it. Jake's always been a fighter, ever since we got married 35 years ago. It's one of the things I love about him. And one of the things that drives me crazy. Jake downplays the effect that kidney disease has had on his life. He was on a steady trajectory towards upper management at Boeing when he had to retire. He has so little energy and a lot of trouble breathing. I was still teaching, but I took an early retirement last year so I could help take care of Jake. And because I want to spend as much time with him as I can, well, I still can. Home dialysis has been a godsend. I mean, sometimes Jake just doesn't feel well enough to leave the house. And other times, well, he feels so good that we just want to spend our time together with our family at home, not at a dialysis center. Jake called it freedom. And it really is. Not just for Jake, but for me too.
Okay, life isn't so bad, you know. Okay, when I'm not feeling sorry for myself, I have to admit it's pretty darn good. I mean, it's not what I envisioned, you know, before kidney disease, but the support that I get from Northwest Kidney Centers and from Sarah, well, it makes it so much better. I mean, like some folks see, I'm not a candidate for a kidney transplant, but I plan on living a long, long time. And dialysis makes it possible for me to earn a living, you know, to be with my boys, to be an active part of their lives. Okay, they're older now, you know, more independent, right? But gosh, it was great to, you know, to get to go to soccer practice, to volunteer at their school. I mean, I know those are things that a lot of people take for granted, but I count my blessings every day. You know, Northwest Kidney Centers, it's given me more control over my life, and it'll allow me to hold my grandbabies one day. Maybe even my great-grandbabies, huh? Yeah, I am so grateful for everything in my life. Life is good.
Like transplants, home dialysis isn't for everybody, but Northwest Kidney Centers makes it possible for everyone who can dialyze at home to do so. Our home dialysis rate is twice the national average. And when you combine home dialysis with all the loving care and attention provided at our clinics, well, 4 out of every 5 people who need kidney care get it right here at Northwest Kidney Centers. I do love my job, and I love my patients who face this disease with such determination and courage. Might sound like a cliche to say it, but they're my heroes.
Heroes? Hardly. I just want to enjoy the rest of my life and try not to make Connie too crazy. When school's in session, we babysit our youngest grandson every Friday. I read stories to him while I'm in dialysis, and he asks me about all the tubes and dials, and I explain everything. I think he's going to be an engineer one day. I'm looking forward to seeing that little guy grow up and graduate from college and get married one day. I agree with Maggie. Fate gave us kidney disease, but Northwest Kidney Center is giving us good life today and great hope for tomorrow.
For better or for worse. And life is so much better for Jake and our family, thanks to Northwest Kidney Centers. And all of you, I just found out that it's gifts from people like you that cover the cost of classes and training for home dialysis patients. Your gifts pay for Sarah to come to our home whenever we need her, day or night or weekends. And your gifts provide a 4th or 5th dialysis treatment on weeks when Jake really needs it. I hate Jake's disease. And it can be a handful. But I'm so grateful to all of you for the gift of sustaining his life so that we can keep him with us a whole lot longer. Dialysis keeps Jake alive, but it's hope and Northwest Kidney Centers that keep us all going. And you are all such a big part of that. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts.